Welcome back, everybody. We're here today to take a little bit of time and look at a slightly different function than the one we used last time. Last time we were here, we went ahead and used the payment function to figure out how much a monthly payment would be for a loan of a certain amount, say for our home loan over here, where we had a 5% interest rate for 15 years and the loan amount was $83,000, and then you could figure out how much your house payment was going to be. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to do something slightly different. We are going to figure out how much we still owe on our loan after a given amount of time, and that's called a present value. Now, to do this, one of the things we are going to do is we're going to name our cells, and this comes in really handy when we do formulas like this. The easiest way to do it is if you just select your range of cells right here, so that you've got the labels selected and then the actual cells that contain the amounts. If you go under formulas, you have a defined names area, and the easiest way to do this is use create from selection. What we're going to do is we're going to tell it to use the labels in the left column to give names to each of those cells, and I'll hit OK. And now if I click on these cells, you can see up here where the cell has a name for it, and this is going to come in handy when we do our present value formula. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use my function button again. It is a PV function. Again, like I said last time, if it doesn't show up in your list, just type it up here and hit go. And it is very similar but not exactly the same as the payment function. It is still based off of a monthly amount. So when we do this, I'm going to go click where it has the rate and I'm going to divide it by 12. That gives us our monthly rate. Now, the key here is if I did not name these, for what I'm doing, I would have had to have set that rate cell as an absolute reference. You don't have to do that if you name the cell. The next line is the number of payments. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky because we're talking about how many payments we have left on our loan. So, we have to first off figure out how many years are left on the loan, and we're going to use some parentheses to do this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the length of the loan, and then I'm going to subtract the number of years that we've already had the loan, which is in E3. I'm not going to use an absolute value on this because when I copy this formula down, I'm going to want it to change to represent each of the different years. I'll close that, and that tells me how many years I have left on my loan. You can see where it says 14 over here. And then I'll take that times 12. That gives me the total number of payments. Now, unlike the last one where we needed the amount of the loan, we're going to use the payment. And we will press a minus like we did last time, but now I go over and I click on my payment function to find out what that is. And then when I hit OK, it pops in here, and I can copy this formula down, and you can see how much we owe as this goes down, and it tells you the way this is set up. When we get past here, we'll be done.